Today, ladies and gentlemen, marks a month since the woman who we know as Devi was brutally raped and murdered in RG Card Medical College and Hospital. It's also 1 month since the doctors of the state have hit the streets and have refused to go back to work, despite repeated appeals by both the High Court and the Supreme Court. Today, the Apex Court has seemingly had enough, giving a deadline to the striking doctors to return to work by 5 p.m. tomorrow. This deadline comes on the back of the West Bengal government claiming that at least 23 patients have lost their lives and more than 1,500 angiographies have been delayed and 6 lakh patient appointments have been cancelled on account of these doctors who continue to be on strike. How are the doctors responding? Well, they're not buying it. The IMA Bengal branch, which is the Indian Medical Association, it has branches all over India. The Bengal branch has refused to give in to the directive of the Supreme Court. They are saying that they are still awaiting justice from the Supreme Court and the CBI for their fallen comrades. Till that comes through, they say we will not call off the protests. Essentially, the doctors are digging in their heels. However, that was not the only big story coming out from the Supreme Court. 2 aspects of the investigation have caught the Supreme Court's eye: the inordinate 14-hour delay in filing a police complaint, as well as the challan which was needed for the autopsy of the victim, which curiously has now gone missing. Listen in to some key excerpts from the hearing today.
Was the post-mortem carried out without a formal dispatch of a request to the post-mortem doctors to carry out the post-mortem?
Just an administrative form. It's a statutory
I
form.
don't have that information. I can only
Just have this post-mortem report in hand. You must be having
post-mortem
it, right?
report. Yes, we have it, Madam.
Now see the third column.
Yes,
See the third column on the top of it.
third column.
Constable by whom brought.
Yeah.
So this constable is supposed to carry this.
This challan.
Okay.
He is supposed to carry this.
Yes.
And if there are any relatives accompanying, the names of those.
Sure. Yes.
Now, it has been struck off.
Blank. That's blank.
So there is no reference of this challan for use when a dead body is sent for examination. You need to explain.
Yes, yes, certainly, Madam.
So tomorrow, if this document is missing,
Yeah.
then something is happening.
Yeah, sure, Madam. Sure. So we'll find out, Madam, as to why this is brought.
But despite the repeated raps from the Supreme Court, despite the warnings from her own partymen, Mamata Banerjee continues to believe that attack is the best form of defense. So today the Chief Minister emphatically claimed that nobody from her party had ever tried to bribe the family members of the victim. This despite what the parents have publicly claimed. They have claimed that a top cop from Calcutta, when their daughter's body was still in the house, had tried to pay them some money. Listen in to the Chief Minister.
আমার সাথে শিপি ছিল এবং আমার পরে আবার তার বাবা মাকেও আপনারা জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলেন, সে রেকর্ডও আমাদের কাছে আছে। আমি কি বলেছিলাম তার আগে আপনাদের মনে রাখতে হবে, আমি যেদিন যাই তার আগের দিন রেসিডেন্সিয়াল ডক্টর ফোরাম একটা অফিসিয়াল স্টেটমেন্ট করেছিল। তার 3 নম্বর পয়েন্টে লেখা ছিল অ্যাডিকুয়েট কম্পেনসেশন টু দ্য ভিকটিমস ফ্যামিলি। একই কথা আমি কিন্তু অফিসিয়ালি প্রেসকেও বলেছিলাম। তা সত্ত্বেও যারা কুৎসা করে বেড়াচ্ছেন, আই এম সরি, তারা কি চায়? বিচার চায় না বিচারের নামে কেসটাকে ঝুলিয়ে দিতে চায়? কি চায়? কলকাতা পুলিশ কমিশনার আমার কাছে নিজে এসেছে অনেকবার পদত্যাগ করার জন্য, গত 7 দিন আগে। সামনে পুজো, আপনারা এবার আমায় বলুন, ল অ্যান্ড অর্ডার লোকটাকে তো জানতে হবে যে থাকবে কোন পাড়ায় কোন পুজো হচ্ছে, পুজো কমিটিগুলো কি থিম করছে, কোথায় কি পুলিশ পোস্টিং আছে। এটা পুজোর সময়, কিছুদিন ধৈর্য ধরলে কি মহাভারত অশুদ্ধ হয়।
Okay. Okay, but the moot question is this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And the next 15 minutes, I have 4 guests who are going to talk about it. Should the doctors now call off their protest, given that the Supreme Court has given them a timeline, a deadline of 5 p.m. tomorrow evening, or should they continue to protest? Professor Manojit Mandal is a political analyst joining us on behalf of the TMC. Shatarupa is spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai is chairperson of the Nephron Clinic, and Dr. Subhankar Chatterjee is from the RG Hospital. Dr. Subhankar Chatterjee, please give me one good reason why doctors, junior doctors, but why junior doctors in Bengal should continue to protest. Whatever could be done by the state has been done by the state. The Supreme Court is cognizant of the matter. They are discussing everything threadbare. Justice will come. It will be meted out. Why should doctors continue to be on strike?
When we started our movement, there were 2 important headings. One is justice, another is security. So justice and security, both the points are unmet till now. Today, the judgment which we have received from the Honorable Supreme Court has disappointed us. From the security point of view, they have deployed CISF personnel in RG Medical College only. But there are other 25 medical college hospitals in West Bengal. The situation remains the same. Nothing has been done as per the security is concerned on these hospitals. No action has been taken till now. The doctors are not feeling safe. Secondly, the justice part is also delayed. We have demanded that the persons who are responsible for evidence tampering should be taken into cognizance and they should be investigated. And we have demanded the resignation of the Police Commissioner of Kolkata, Mr. Vinit Goel. That is also not achieved till now. So our points are still unmet, and this is what we feel now. Today we will have our meeting at night and we will discuss with our legal team regarding the further course of action. But anyway, whatever may be the form of the movement, but our movement for justice of Abhaya will continue. Movement will not stop. Its form may vary.
Okay. You are saying it will not stop, it is jari. I understand that. For the moment, you're refusing to call it off. But Professor Manojit Mandal, look, do I think that doctors should call off their strike? Yes, I think doctors should call off their strike. Because the last thing you want is patients to suffer, and patients are suffering. But Professor Manojit Mandal, ये कैसा calculation किया है TMC ने that 23 patients have died in Bengal at RG because doctors are on strike? How do they know that these patients have died because the doctors are on strike?
I mean, this is amazing kind of a question when someone is speaking on oath in the Supreme Court, Shreya. They must have received the information and will be documented evidences of that, or else they will be charged of perjury. This question doesn't arise at all. If it is otherwise, the lawyer in question and the client in question should be charged of perjury because this was brought before the Supreme Court. So we have seen people dying. We have seen a particular patient's mother and a grandmother carrying the dead body of the patient in RG hospital only. If you do not wish to believe in these pictures, I wish God help this country. Let us believe in this particular issue. We are talking about justice for this victim. All of us are doing that. But is this the way? For 1 month, they're talking about security. I want to know from my very, dear doctor, how many of you are hurt by others in the last 1 month when the protests are continuing, and rightly so. It is the same Kolkata police, Bengal police doing their duty by protecting the citizen. Duty, I'm saying that they are not doing bounty. It's the duty. Not a single incident in the last 1 month. This can only happen in India, in Bengal, because that is law and order maintained by the same police which you are deriving. Yes. Police has got problem in the country itself, we know. But in this case, you have to give it to the police. They have maintained law and order in the last 1 month without any incident
10
whatsoever.
seconds to respond to that. ठीक है. Manojit, let Dr. Chatterjee 10 seconds respond to that.
Manojit has forget the 14th night incident, which has vandalized the whole medical college, including its emergency department and our Dharnam Punch. What was that? What was
Not
that?
a single doctor was injured. Not a single doctor was injured. Not a single doctor
Manojit,
was
I would
injured.
have pointed it out. I wanted Dr. Chatterjee to point it out because he was there.
Not a single doctor was injured. Not a
So
single
would you be
doctor was
happy
injured.
that
My
for
dear
that?
friend, do not lie on TV. The police officers were
No,
injured.
no, no.
Police
So
officers were injured. Not a single doctor
the
was injured.
the
Show me
masses was
the injuries
this.
of the
Dr. Bagai,
doctors.
Manojit,
So this
Manojit, we all saw what happened on the 14th. It was
That's
a
what I'm
failure of the
saying.
police,
On-
and you're saying
on
not one
14th
incident.
do you support
On
the
Manojit,
do you support
kya
the
yaar?
attack on 14th?
hang on. On
Do you
14th,
support the attack on 14th?
Dr.
Please tell.
Bagai.
on
If
14th,
you,
when the vandals were there, even then, not a single doctor was injured. They were protected by the
So-
police in whatever
so
form.
have you
Dr. Bagai.
instructed them to do
police
so?
Dr. Bagai, come in here. Gentlemen, please, no behes today. I don't have time for behes today. Dr. Bagai, please take 20 seconds and tell me. You've for a long time been saying that the doctors should call off their strike. You've heard the doctor's point of view today. There's a Supreme Court deadline that is looming 5 p.m. tomorrow. Should they call off their strike? You've heard what the doctors are saying. You've heard their point of view as well.
Good evening, everyone. I have few very quick points, bullet points to make. There have been serious lapses. I think the West Bengal government and the local hospital administration has failed not only Indian healthcare, West Bengal healthcare, but they failed a family because the young daughter has been brutally murdered, raped, and killed. Having said that, it's been about 5 weeks, 4.5, 5 weeks plus since that unfortunate and brutal attack on this unarmed, vulnerable girl. This is unacceptable. Doctors have made their protest, but now the core issues are the main concerns are being addressed. They are being addressed by the highest authority in India, which is the Supreme Court. I think everyone trusts the Supreme Court. At my personal level, 100% I trust the Supreme Court. It's a 3-division bench headed by the CGI. Nothing can be higher, more honorable. They've given a very, very detailed justice order twice. They've instituted a national task force. Let me tell you, I know a lot of the people of the 10 or 12, they are absolutely superbly intelligent. There is concern for security, yes. But what is our ultimate aim? Justice for the girl who's been brutally murdered, raped, and killed? Yes, it is in process. Point number 2, security for the doctors? It's a no-brainer. We need security. But on the same hand, do we need innocent patients to suffer?
Okay.
My answer is no. We have made our point explicitly clear. It's been ringing huge bells in the highest court of the country with the government. Allow this to fall into place. Come back to work. Let us serve the patients. Let us serve the people who need us. That is our karam. That is our dharam.
Okay. Okay. Do your dharam, you are saying. Shatarupa, on behalf of the BJP, I don't have too much time. I apologize to all of you. On behalf of the BJP, please tell us where the BJP stands. Do they want doctors to adhere to what the Supreme Court is saying and come back to work? Which side are you on?
BJP is on BJP's side. The BJP has a single point agenda. BJP wants Mamata Banerjee to resign because we feel for the last 13 years, she has done a disastrous job as the police minister, as the home health minister, and
वो
of
तो
course
नहीं
as the
होगा.
chief
उसको
minister.
electorally
As far as
हराना
the
पड़ेगा.
doctors, that is a different issue. We are not trying to defeat her. We are saying as the chief minister, as the health minister, as the police minister, she needs to resign. Now, whether she wants to put in somebody else from her party or however way run the government with somebody else, that is her issue. We never said that we want to come to power right now. That is an electoral thing that will happen. People will decide. There will be elections whenever it happens.
Shatarupa, please
People
answer
will
my
decide.
question. On behalf of the BJP, what is the BJP stand? Should the doctors go back to work or not? Simple question.
Shreya, Supreme Court is the same for everybody. If Supreme Court gives a direction, every citizen of India, no matter who they are, whether they feel wronged or not, has to obey, period. But I have to say, I mean, Manojit said so many insensitive things. These doctors, junior doctors, they sat on the road, Shreya, for 22 hours and they showed such supreme control. There was not an inch of violence. And even, I think in some, I don't remember which procession, some sergeant, got injured, and these same doctors who are against the police, they went and treated the doctor. I just want to say one last thing, if you please allow me. Medical facilities, the Trinamool has come up with some weird 23 number. I don't know how they have attributed that to the doctors. Junior doctors are on strike, but for the last few days, they have opened a camp outside the hospital. They have printed prescriptions, which has a round
Okay.
circle saying justice for R.G. Kar. They
Out
are
of time.
doing their duty.
Okay. I know where the BJP stands. You're saying if the Supreme Court of India has said it, doctors need to go back to work. Dr. Bagai is saying this. Of course, Mamata Banerjee, the party that Manojit Mandal is representing it, has been saying this for the last 3 weeks. The only person who is saying that we are not going to go back to work is Dr. Subhankar Chatterjee, who is one of the people on protest, and he has his points as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see how this pans out. We'll see what happens, because the Supreme Court is very clear, call off the strike by 5 p.m. tomorrow evening. So let's see how this pans out. We'll be keeping track of that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this evening as well.